It's that time again. It's the podcast that takes your personal and professional life to a whole new level. Whether you're selling a product, selling a service, or selling yourself, one thing is for sure. You're always selling for life. All right, and welcome to another installment of the Selling for Life podcast, a podcast sponsored by Conequip Parts, a world of parts with a personal touch. And this podcast is about more than just selling stuff. We think if you stick around, you'll get a lot out of it. I'm Steve, and today I'm joined by Conequip owner, church planter, and professional actor, Al Alexander.
Whoop, whoop.
Al, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, the old whoop whoop. I guess that never gets old. Actually, it does get very old, but it's okay. You keep doing it. And we're also joined today by a special guest, Mr. Tom Flannigan, sales engineer from Carlisle. Say hello, Mr. Flannigan.
Hello, everybody.
All right. Hello, everybody.
He's got a great radio voice.
Did you ever see the movie?
Well, thank you.
Did you ever see the movie Christmas Vacation? When the grandmother comes to the house and she says, "Why don't you say hello to everybody, Grandma?" And she goes, "Hello, everybody."
Hello, everybody. Hello,
That's exactly.
Hello, everybody. Mr. Flannigan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do?
I work with Carlisle Brake and Friction.
Okay.
We are the manufacturer for a lot of the friction components that are used in construction and mining equipment.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I have a lot of friction with my wife. Can you help me?
Ba-dum-bum.
I can do what I can.
No?
No, take my wife, please. That's good.
Okay. How about that?
Thanks, buddy.
I had that ready to roll.
Got some Rodney Dangerfield jokes.
Yeah. Oh, I get no respect. Oh.
Where are you located?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, great. Cavaliers fan, Browns fan.
Whoop, whoop.
The Browns. Oh, my
Brownies.
gosh. What is going on with the Browns?
Big moves.
Won't be able to make fun of them anymore.
Big moves this year.
Tell you what. You guys got some personalities there now.
Mm-hmm. They're going to go all the way.
You think so?
I'll send you guys some Browns gear. Free
Okay.
of charge.
Sure.
This guy's got it.
Do it. Do it.
They play basketball, right?
I think the Bills play the Browns this
Okay.
year. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, we'll have to come to that game.
Yeah.
I'm representing my Bills game.
So, Mr. Flannigan, so you had a little bit of a travel up here. And that's not too far, but you had a lot going on, I'm sure, right?
Yep.
You had to prepare for the meeting. You have other places you're going after this, or were you anywhere else before this?
Oh, yeah. I was in Syracuse
Mhm.
most of the week,
Okay.
visiting distributors there.
Mhm.
And then this morning I ventured to the great city of Buffalo
Mm-hmm.
to visit with Al,
Gotcha.
Ben, and yourself.
Oh, my gosh. You met Ben?
Yes.
Oh, did you meet him earlier today?
I've met him last year.
Oh, my gosh. What made you come back?
Yeah, right? You met Ben.
I felt bad for the guy.
Hey, there you go. So you met him. See, yeah, he has met him.
At least the last couple of months I was like, what can I do for Ben to help him out?
Oh, geez. Yes. You can take some of his kids for the weekenders, too.
That's the least you could do. That's why he's my partner. I felt bad for him. I'm like, man.
Okay, so you did a lot of traveling around. You had to prepare a lot for this particular all your trips, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a lot of time goes into that. And you're on the road. When you're on the road, do you just listen to the radio? I mean, what do you do while you're on the road?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I wish it was that easy just to kick back, listen to the radio. But
Mhm.
when you're on the road, behind the wheel, as much as, the guys from Carlisle,
Mm-hmm.
there is calls
Mhm.
almost the entire trip.
Interesting.
And then when you stop and catch a break, you got to you got to catch up on all the emails
Gotcha.
and questions from customers.
Sure. Okay.
So
Well,
you kind of do double duty.
Yeah.
While you're doing one thing, you do another.
Oh,
Yeah.
that brings us to the topic of the day, and the topic of the day is time management. Or Al doesn't like that expression or cliche or whatever you call it. Al, what is it actually?
I don't really believe that you can manage time.
Okay.
Like it's a fixed constant in the universe
Mhm.
that continues on and on.
Yeah.
How can I manage that? Like we just lost a minute just now.
Just
Okay.
talking about
Yeah.
time.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
I call it task management.
Task management.
That's right.
Oh boy. taking it to another level.
That
Al.
has got a ring to it.
Yeah, first off, I like to prioritize things.
Okay.
Make lists, things like that, because you have a section of work or a project you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, things to get done, like Tom was saying. While you're doing one thing, you sometimes need to do another.
Right.
But let's make a list to prioritize what is most important.
Gotcha.
Usually, what I do.
Okay.
Also, there's a concept that you can break things up into quadrants.
Okay.
Say 4 quadrants. One quadrant. So let's picture this in our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Top left is going to be something that you need to do that's essential, and you need to do it now.
Okay.
Right. We'll put things in that are high priority into that quadrant and get those done.
Essential now. Okay.
Yeah. And then some things are essential, but then like right below it, you could probably wait till later.
Okay.
Right. Like emails, they're essential, but you can't do them while you're driving. Right.
That's right.
You got to wait till later.
Okay. Non-essential later.
And then you got non-essential now and non-essential later.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I break those up, compartmentalizing, and I would get through my list based on the priorities
Okay.
and the time that I need to accomplish them. Because there are deadlines on some things.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, some things are non-essential, but they need to be done right now.
Okay. What are the 4 quadrants again?
Essential now,
Mm-hmm.
essential later, non-essential now, and non-essential later.
Okay, so that's a way to start breaking it up into pieces so you have a more of a clear picture, I guess, of what you're looking at in terms of responsibilities.
And I'm putting tasks in there.
Okay.
I can organize things a little bit better in that way.
Okay.
And I'm doing the important things now, and I'm waiting until later for other things.
Okay. When we were talking yesterday about this topic, and when we were preparing for the podcast, you mentioned something about headers and subheaders.
When you're making these lists, organizing your tasks, I kind of create certain things that go under another heading.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I can say, well, this is important in that area of my business or in my time or my family even.
Mm-hmm.
And I can know it's part of that department or part of that activity or strategy.
Gotcha.
And I might be able to collaborate with some other people that way if I kind of think about it in that way.
Right.
Something that I might not be good at, I can delegate, I can consolidate tasks a little bit, do double duty, triple duty in certain things. And I do also some things called habit stacking. So if something is useful to me, but yet I can never fit it in,
Mm-hmm.
I'll stack it on some other habit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is along the lines of what Tom, I think, was kind of doing with driving and doing things while he was driving. Tom, what are some types of things do you do to help you organize your busy day?
Oh, geez. These are practices that have been years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
I started as a Post-it note guy, just
Okay.
scattered everywhere.
Yep.
Well, I don't remember the movie. I think it was Memento or something like that. Where
Right.
It was just Post-it notes everywhere. So I started there, and over the time, I've just found, there's daily lists, there's weekly lists, and then there's monthly lists that I've got
Mm-hmm.
for myself. Now everybody else is, has to do what works for them.
Right.
I've known some multitasking pros, but there's a way to overextend yourself with certain multitasking
Mm-hmm.
projects.
Yes.
So I found what works best for me is just to stick to my lists
Mhm.
per day,
Okay.
per week, and per month, and those lists are always changing. Depending on where I'm at,
Mm-hmm.
changes that have occurred and priorities that have had to be shifted because of one thing or another. Lists are key for me.
Yeah. Talk about lists, Al.
I can't stand lists. I started off Post-it notes.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is a list maker.
Right.
And I started lists because I read it in a book and people are successful when they do lists. But I don't like them, dude.
Well, let's be honest. The reason we have lists are to stay out of trouble with the wife, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my wife keeps lists, but not the type we're talking about right now. So,
And they like to add to our lists.
Yeah.
I don't keep my lists out for her to review because I'll notice there's writing that isn't mine that made it onto the list.
Yeah.
And it's at the top of the list.
How's it prioritizing? There you go.
oh, okay. Some tips, Al, as people try to manage tasks better.
Like I was talking about habit stacking.
Right.
So whenever I wash my hands,
Mhm.
I wanted to improve, my physique, get some energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing push-ups,
Sure.
but while I'm washing my hands.
Right.
So I stacked those two things together. It's one of my little tips.
That's
Okay.
impressive.
Yeah.
That is very impressive.
And a big guy like me, I'm 255 pounds.
Mm.
I can do 50 push-ups
Mm-hmm.
without a problem.
While washing your hands.
while washing my hands.
Steve, we need to see this.
Sometimes I do one
Right?
arm,
That is impressive.
one arm
Wow.
push up, wash the other.
That is crazy impressive.
I can eat a foot-long sandwich while doing a sit-up. Boom.
So you get the idea, Tom.
Mic drop.
There you go. That's like dangling a carrot in front of you. Yeah, for sure. What other tips do we have here? We got the task.
Oh, yeah, so-
task consolidation. I coined a term, task piecemeal.
Oh, okay.
Right, where you don't have to. You got something daunting facing you, and you feel like you got to get it all done at once if you start it, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
My yard, for instance, I started working on it to make it look nice 17 years ago. Well, I'm
Nice.
getting there. I'm getting down to the back of the corner. Not really 17 years, 3-4 years since I bought the house.
Yeah.
But if I had said to myself, I got to get this lawn looking like the neighbor's lawn like this year, it would never happen. So I would never even attack it. But, taking a little bit at a time, task piecemealing.
Yeah, I agree. Like we set a schedule at home, half an hour to an hour a day, like after eating dinner, and we all get together and get a project done, like, outside or
Yeah.
whatever. We're doing a remodel in our attic now.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of time, half hour a night, just get it through,
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
And then a lot of things that we have, and today we are living in a great age where we have technology to help us.
Calendars on our phones
Isn't
and
that
reminders.
something?
I love those things.
A lot of people don't take advantage of these things. I'm going to be 50 this year, Tom. I don't know if I look at it. I probably don't, but
I don't believe a word that came out of your mouth.
good.
This is your cue, man, to say something nice. No, really,
When's
Steve?
your 31st birthday?
Thank you. I have had a problem with my Mac computer, so I thought on my way home from work, man, I got to go grab the Mac. I got to go take it to the mall, have the guys look at it. And I realized, no, I don't. I could just go and call them up, and they could take control of my computer remotely and figure out my problem.
Wow, you're smart.
Right? So I saved myself literally 2 hours probably or more from having to load up the Mac and drive it down to the mall. How many other things are out there, technology, that prevents us or helps us, prevents us from wasting time doing certain tasks? But saying no. Now, what does saying no help when it comes to task management?
I don't want to be involved in this. I
Right.
got other things to do.
Right.
Prioritizing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I like to help people. That's
Right.
the whole thing. You get sucked into things. You want to serve people and help people.
Right.
But, man, think about all that would fail if I added one more thing on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
Dominoes would fall.
Yes.
It could all fall.
They really do. And it's really hard to say no. And what happens when you say yes to something, but you're not going to be able to give it your all, completely commit to it? You have that stress of knowing that you said yes to somebody and they're kind of waiting out there for you to finish their website or come by to help them with whatever, install brakes in their truck or whatever. And it just weighs on you knowing that you have that obligation that you agreed to that you really didn't have time for in the first place. Okay. Anything else, Al, on task management, or do you need to hit the road?
I'm hitting the road, dude.
All right, but I'm not letting you hit the road until you give us your thought for the day.
You don't need to be perfect at organization, task management. If you married somebody who is, that's what I did. I married into organization.
Oh, that's great.
Even if you only do 20%,
Right.
that's 20% better than you started.
Yeah, that's right.
So think about it that way. Little bits.
Do not get discouraged. That is absolutely for sure.
What do you think, Tom?
You're a lot smarter than everybody says. You know that?
You're a lot better looking.
He is a good-looking guy. Holy cow. Wish I was that good-looking, but I'm younger.
You guys are so nice. I like Buffalo. You guys are so nice here.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Flannigan, it was super nice having you for
Thank
the
you
podcast.
for having me. This is great.
Absolutely. You
Thanks for
got a
coming.
little bit of applause there. A little bit of laughing. Okay, back to the animation. So that's it for our 37th episode of the Selling for Life podcast. Check out our website at sellingforlife.com. Check us on Twitter. Check us on Facebook. And remember, whether you're selling friction disc brakes wet or dry, did I say that right?
Close enough.
Or-
We'll work on that.
Where you're trying to convince your neighbor you really can't come over to his house to help him fix the brakes on his car, one thing is for sure, Al,
You're always selling for life.
All right.